I grew up at a rather, can't say it was a suburban place. It was a countryside and kampong lah technically. So I'm a free spirit at heart. So growing up in that sort of environment sort of made me a person who's very curious in nature. And to the fact that my mom was also a seamstress, so she loved fabric, she loved like making clothes. So that definitely influenced me and my sister, because she would also often dress us up in like all these creations of hers. My dad was a steward, so again, somebody who likes to go around, traveling around, and he would bring back trinkets or like fabrics from all across the world. You get to see culture, you get to see art, you get to see different sorts of fabric coming in from, when you're small, like all corners of the world. Wow. I think that's also how I grew up to be a person who appreciates a lot of things that people might not necessarily appreciate.
So I grew up in a outskirts of Kuala Lumpur actually, about 30 minutes away, and it's Malay centric area. And I remember during lockdown, such an interesting time, because that was the time where I was experimenting a lot of my clothes. I remember growing up, it was so hard for me to dress the way I want to, but I feel over the years I made peace with it and realized, wow, it also reflects how I am as a person. And in a way it feels kind of rewarding because you kind of find that balance between wanting to respect your community, even though I'm the kind of person like, okay, whatever, but at the same time I want respect. Also find that balance between being bold, being yourself, being self-expressive.
Once you're aware of your heritage, you're aware of your identity, who you are, who you really are. And that's you, it's in your DNA. But when you notice your identity, I think you will understand who you really are. When you know who you really are, you can walk into an interview office with full of confidence of who you are. You're not insecure. And when you're not insecure, your energy becomes very positive. It emanates. So I think it's important.
I think growing up in Malaysia for me specifically, I've never felt a sense of belonging with my culture, which is like the Malay culture in itself. I wouldn't say it was because I was not Malay enough. Ethnically, I am not, but but in terms of my environment, I would say it was because there was always a sense of separation. My relationship with culture is a little bit more fragmented, where being a modern day Malay Muslim woman is at a very interesting time. It can be very confusing. Like you're not really Malay enough because traditionally you don't practice certain things now. You don't really have the knowledge that people back then have as well. So I am sort of just mix and matching and collaging my identity in terms of culturally from growing up. So it's a bit of just pieces that I appreciate or I am used to growing up. So I am embracing the fact that culturally you can also be a mix of different things.
Do you feel a sense of pride in your culture?
I do, and I feel like I get frustrated when I feel like people are not like celebrating it enough. Because I think our culture is so rich and there's just a lot of opportunities to like grow, and I think I get really like infuriates me when I feel like our culture is not like embraced enough. I think heritage is beautiful, and like I think it'd be so interesting to just see people casually outside in their traditional garments as like an everyday wear, because I think it's pretty cool. Like, even like being able to like mix it up is pretty cool too. And like I think everyone should be able to like experience like the culture and like being able to just have fun with it without it being a serious issue.
I feel like kita that sebenarnya we are a diverse culture and we need to preserve it, and it's all about unity at the end of the day. Like in Islam taught us to always embrace unity, so we create some sort of space that is safe to people who feel down and vulnerable.